It's been what, 10 years or something, 7 years,
8 years, I believe.
8 years.
2015. It says, yeah, June 29th, 2015 was when I posted.
That's so funny. That was like some of the first press that we got for Made to Order. So it's so good to see you again.
Yeah, I mean, it's very interesting because I often have this fantasy of redoing every interview I did, basically from 2015 to 2018, and and slowly but surely it's happening.
Look
I
at that.
mean,
Everything's coming full circle.
yeah. I like because I reviewed some of the audio from that first one, and you guys did really well, and I I didn't know what the hell I was doing.
Really? I don't remember it being that way, but I understand that feeling.
Yeah. How's everything going? How you holding up?
I'm good. I'm really great. I'm out in LA
Yeah.
and I it's been like a really it's been a really wild year. Like
Yeah.
it's everything. I've just been on the road all of a sudden. It's been awesome.
And how has that been for you? Like, is that I'm sure obviously it's not the first time you've been on the road, but now that you're more established and more concrete in who you are, I mean, that's got to feel good to have audiences that are coming out for you.
Yeah, it's been amazing.
Mhm.
It's been really like a dream come true. I mean, like to all of a sudden be going out and selling out rooms full of
Yeah.
people who are there to see you is such a like it's been such a high that I have just been it's been awesome. I mean, it's the road, the travel has been intense, but like
Yeah.
it's hard to complain about that because um it's been so kind of surreal and awesome to just like to suddenly have this like audience. Because I've been doing this for a really long time,
Yeah.
and it's really been like a cool thing to experience.
When was the first time that you felt that this is this is who I am, like in the past couple of years, this is who I am, this is where I'm meant to be, this is I'm making this way, and I've come a long way from making YouTube a mini series.
Yeah. I mean, it's been different moments along the way. I think that there was like a very meaningful kind of moment that I realized things had sort of taken off when last October, so like a year ago, I did a show with my brother because we tour a lot together at the Columbus Funny Bone in Ohio. And it's like a 400 person room. And we like sold it out, and it was like an epic show. And then it was like this thing where like after the show, people were lining up to like take pictures and say hi. And it was just like, it was like such a kind of pinch me moment. And I was so like overwhelmed, like how this is like so wild that this is happening right now. And it's kind of been like that for the past year. And I it's been really cool. I feel really like I'm just appreciating it so much because it has been such a long road to get to a place where um there are people who like actually want to come and like see see my comedy. Oh no, I can't hear you, Chad.
Okay, great.
Oh, there you
Sorry.
go.
Sorry about that. Yeah.
No, no,
Yeah,
no.
I can't imagine the feeling. I mean, it's like you said, you've come a long way. And then also now we have these new technologies with TikTok and
Mm-hmm.
Instagram. And I
Mm-hmm.
see that, on looking at your socials, that has like increased exponentially. That's definitely helped
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
in a big like fashion. Like you're definitely a comedian who it appears that when we all made that turn, that skid into like TikTok, more importantly,
Uh-huh.
that really helped you in the long run. I mean, obviously,
Yeah.
comedians that they've thrived on that platform, but
Yeah.
it's also good to be included in that community of people passing around your stand up if you're talking to somebody in the audience, or if you're commenting on something that just happened recently in the world. I mean, that's got to be another big platform and step for you.
Well, that was the thing. That was the thing that did it for me. That's the reason why I've been able to do these shows and travel across the country. Like it,
Mhm.
getting on a TikTok changed my life. Like it's
Wow.
so crazy to say, but I got on TikTok sort of midway during the pandemic because my brother was like, "Oh, you got to get on TikTok." And I was like, I really pushed back. I was like, "That's no, that's for like children." And then I did get on it, and it it really like it the growth was exponential, and that is the thing that has given, like, that platform is the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing right now. I'm
Yeah.
I'm very grateful for social media, which is a weird thing to say because obviously, like, it's a it has a lot of there's a lot of negatives to social media, but for me it's been a platform that has allowed me to reach a massive amount of people. So
Yeah.
I I'm thrilled.
That now doing stand up, and I've seen you've done stand up a lot, obviously,
Mm-hmm.
prior to even doing Skinny Bitch Jesus Meeting, which also, by the way, that name still sticks out, and it's like I when I was
Yeah.
looking for it on my on the hard drive where I keep all the interviews, I didn't look for your name, but I didn't look for. I just immediately went, it's under Skinny Bitch Jesus Meeting. That's
Yeah,
exactly where it is.
that's where it is. And that, I mean, that's Katie is still is still my writing partner and
Mhm.
my closest friend. But I actually didn't do stand up before that. I only started doing stand up. I was only doing sketch. And then when I moved to LA, that's when I started doing stand up. So
Wow.
I started with sketch, and that Katie and I were performing all over, and coming up in that world really was useful because it allowed me to, like, develop my voice
Mhm.
and learn how to be on stage as a performer and learn what I love and what I want to talk about and make jokes about. So it made the transition into stand up all that all that much easier, I think.
Yeah. Do you ever miss performing with another person or with other people, and either, like, in a prepared thing or an improv type deal? But I know the life of a stand up can be lonely, but and then also you have the stuff you did with your brother. But
Yeah.
is there ever a point where you're going, man, I want somebody to play off of all the time?
I miss performing with Katie. But we just have such a special, like, chemistry.
Hmm.
Um and she is the funniest person I know, and she is like my favorite person in the world to be on stage with, and we'll be on stage together again. Stand up is it you know it can be lonely, but I don't know. It's a different form, and I love it in a different way. And I have been lucky enough to be able to, like, travel with my brother and
Hmm.
or travel sometimes with my husband. So being on the road hasn't actually felt terribly lonely. I think the thing that was nice about working with a partner is that, like, if you have like a rough show, you have each other to, like, commiserate after.
Yeah.
If I bomb as a stand up, if I have a bad show, then it's just like me, it's just me and my vodka. Like,
Yeah.
it's like I have to go to bed alone with that. Um yeah, so
Do you have a pre-show and post-show rituals? Like if I know if I ever did stand up, I would probably end every show by eating half a pint of ice cream, because it's gonna be, I mean, you do a 9:30 show, it's late at night. Hey, I'm gonna go eat some Ben and Jerry's. Like, so what do you
Yeah.
do before you hit the stage, and what do you do after, good show or not?
Um, well, it sort of depends where I am. I mean, I like to do things like I like, prep my set list. If I have time in the day, I like to do some kind of physical like yoga or something like that. The pre-show is it sort of depends on where I am and what the show is going to be. I like to have some coffee.
Okay, all right.
um and then post show I like to have a drink. If I'm on the road, I just like to go back to the I mean, I'm so wired after a show
Yeah,
that it's sometimes hard to wind down, and it's like late and stuff is closed. So that's kind of like a it has been kind of a tricky thing. Like how do I wind down? But I'll usually like have a drink, or I'll go back to the hotel and I'll just watch like Friends or something that
yeah.
is just kind of like settle my brain, and
Mhm.
maybe like eat a bag of gummy bears.
And I mean, it's crazy what the feelings that can be created because you're on stage for 40 minutes at a time, and like just giving you this adrenaline that makes you feel like that you're on top of the world. You
Yeah.
just made, one, two, three, 400 people laugh, and then you're supposed to, it's 11 o'clock midnight, and you're supposed to just go, okay, that's it. And then
Yeah.
it's like an Olympic person. It's like football players, sports players. I don't understand how, I mean, obviously they can go to, clubs and everything, but you're in a comedy world. Comedy people don't just go to clubs. They just
No.
they spend time alone. They're just like,
No.
okay, time to go drink by myself.
Yeah, it is. That is kind of a strange thing, especially if I'm like on my own, if like my
Mhm.
brother isn't there, my husband isn't there. It is like I don't really know where to place that energy.
Yeah.
So um sometimes I'll just go like sit at a bar by myself and get some food, and just to be like out with like a little bit of energy still, because
Yeah.
I don't know where to put that like frenetic kind of like all of that adrenaline is still coursing through me.
Yeah. Yeah, my
Yeah.
dog, when I wake up in the morning, I take him out to pee, then I put him back in the crate so I can go to the gym, and I'll come back and he's just like, "All right, dude, we were already out. Let's go again." And he's ready to pounce on me at any moment. Now this one
Yeah.
is called spiraling.
Yeah.
And take me through, you're going around town, you're going around different places, and you're setting up jokes for it. Um Now you're ready. You tell yourself, I'm ready to put these all out in a special. Uh what was that process like for you to build a set? And because
Mhm.
is this your first one?
It's my first hour. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So
Yeah.
how was that building it for you?
It was really intense because it was an opportunity that was presented to me maybe 4 months prior to the taping.
Okay.
So my manager reached out and he was like, "Hey, there's this Comedy Dynamics is taping all of these specials. What do you think? Do you want to, And at this point, I had been doing a lot of co-headlining with my brother,
Mhm.
so I had 35 to 40 minutes solid. And I was like, yeah, I can do that. I can do that. The taping was in April and this was like January. So then I just
Okay.
like went on the road really hard for 4 months, um, and build out another 20 minutes.
Wow.
And it was super stressful and intense. I didn't I was like it was really a challenge, but I did it. I think there's something to be said for having a deadline. Like
Mhm.
I could have sat on that 35 minutes for another year and not the fact that I was forced to fill out an hour was such a blessing, I think, because it having that deadline just like, it made me do
Yeah.
it. And I
Yeah.
feel really good about what I made and what's out there. Yeah.
Yeah, and then to get the jokes out, it just must feel like a weight off your shoulders. And then there's the other stress, the continued stress of, okay, now I have to build this up again because I can't just be a
Yeah.
one hit wonder.
That's been really like interesting because the special just came out,
Mhm.
and I have all these dates ahead of me, and um I don't know, like the hour is like a lot of stuff that I've been working on for like 7 years. And so
Right.
now there's this pressure to like turn it all over in a year,
Yeah.
to have the next hour. And so it's definitely like it definitely has forced me to write more, which is great. And just like, okay, I'm just gonna do this now. I'm gonna get this out there. So
Yeah.
whatever it takes, you
And
know.
it's good that you were able to partner up with, Comedy Dynamics is great. I've talked to a lot
Yeah.
of the people that they represent or that they've done specials for,
Yeah.
and I mean they are a new face in this audio and visual game because it
Yeah.
like I think a well produced special can really set somebody apart from someone else who, yeah, we have the Netflix ones, yeah, we
Hmm.
have the people who self produce their own, but to be smack dab in the middle with Comedy Dynamics, a company that is making itself well known at least in the past 5 years or so,
Yeah.
has got to feel good.
Yeah, and it feels great, and it was so great to work with them. They were they're just like such a strong, they have such a strong team across the board. And I felt like they took all of my feedback. They really wanted it, they really wanted me to be happy with it, and that really, I think, shows through. Like they took all of my notes, and we went through several rounds of edits, and
Mm.
even with the trailer, like I really they're really awesome. I'm so grateful to have gotten to work with them.
What was the editing process like? How did you approach editing your special?
Well, there wasn't a ton to edit because we
Okay.
just did one show.
Hmm. Yeah.
So, and luckily the show went great. So it was just like tiny cuts of just like being like, okay, let's make this a little tighter. Let's maybe try this a different shot for this moment.
Right.
Just sort of really like small technical things, but I was pretty happy with it from the get-go. There wasn't a
Okay.
ton to adjust,
How
which
many
is
cameras were there? What was the setup like?
there were God, I don't know, maybe six. There were a ton. I don't there were a bunch. I don't even know the exact number.
What was the night a blur for you? Oh, like, and what was the audience like? How was were your family, was your family there? Did you have
Yeah.
friends, or did you tell people to stay away and let me do this thing?
No, I had friends.
Okay.
I mean, it was sold out. It was a big room. It was
Yeah.
the El Portal Theater in North Hollywood, and I think it was like 250 or 300 seats. And it was just like fans that came out to support, and it was also my parents came out, and my brother came, and my father-in-law was there,
Oh,
and a bunch of my friends. So it was really like a special night. It really, like, it was one of those, it was kind of a blur, but it was also just like,
yeah.
because it was just like, so it was such a fun show, and I
Mhm.
felt so much love. It was really lovely.
Did you have a release party of any sort, like in the past like week or so, or is there something coming up that you're going to
No,
celebrate?
I didn't, I like, my husband and I are going to go out to dinner tonight.
Okay. Yeah.
I didn't plan anything because it all happened really fast. All of a sudden,
Mhm.
Comedy Dynamics was like, okay, we have this release date. And so I didn't even think to plan like a party. I should have, but maybe I'll do something.
Yeah, you have to. I mean, come on, you
Yeah.
got to sell. You got to. It's a big milestone.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, you're right.
Now, okay, so uh what are the plans after this? I know this thing has already come out, and I know we've already talked about you having to start making new jokes or finding new ways to tell stories. But do you feel that you need to rush into something now, or are you going to take this, not the same 7 years, but another good amount of time to try to perfect another thing? Like, is that is that something that's racing towards you? Are you racing towards that end goal of going to number two, or are you just comfortable with hitting the town or hitting the states again?
It's kind of racing, I think.
Okay.
I think that now, because I'm still on the road, and I want to be able to give people something new
Yeah.
now that the special's out. I hope that people will watch it and then come see me, and it won't be an immediate turnover, but
Yeah.
I want people to feel like they're coming out and they're seeing something special that they haven't, that at least a good amount of it is not something that they've already seen. So
Yeah.
it definitely does feel like it's pressure, but it's good pressure.
That's the best kind of pressure. Uh
Yeah.
Now I do have one more question for you. And this will go back. This will be a callback that you don't remember. But I asked you guys, I asked you and Katie if you cooked at all, and then you were like at home, and then I was like, yeah, and I'm not talking about toast and cereal and eggs. I'm talking about real food. And then we had a nice discussion about borscht.
Oh my God. Because Katie loves borscht
Yeah, yeah,
and
exactly.
I don't.
Yeah. That was the whole thing. And then we started talking about, I called it beet soup. And
Yeah.
and then we just started talking about essentially gazpacho for the
Yeah.
rest of the time. So
Now
hey, look,
that's a good interview.
yeah. Oh my God. A nice 20-minute interview.
Yeah.
Uh
Katie will talk about soup endlessly.
I probably
And
well, I
that's one
wish
of
I'd
her
started
and
with
that's
that.
one of her best qualities.
Yeah. I mean, look, made to order, the name's right there, but
It's
that's not.
yeah, that's true. We did have a sort of soup episode where we ground up what did we grind up? Something really gross. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't remember, but I remember watching most of it.
Yeah.
But hey, look, I'm glad we came back and we could do this again.
Yeah.
Let's not make it another 8 years. We
Let's
gotta,
not make it another 8 years.
yeah, you
That
have
would be
to.
great.
I mean, if anything, not just for your career, if anything, you have to put out a new special so that we can chat.
Exactly.
Yes,
That will be my driving force moving
yes.
forward.
I appreciate that. Thank you. You don't have to laugh after it. You don't have to laugh. It hurts. It hurts when you laugh after the fact. Jesus, there you go. I mean, come on.
I'm so sorry.
Well, thank you so much for sitting down with me. I appreciate you. Good luck with everything. This has been wonderful. This is loads better. I hope it was for you.
Oh, it was
Loads
it
better
was
than the first
great.
one.
It was great then and it was great now. So thank you. Thanks, Chad. It was really good to see you and thanks for talking to me.
Hey, of course. All right. Congratulations, and have a good rest of your day.
Thanks, Chad.
You're welcome. Bye.
Take care.